The fourth dimension is not so much a place of anguish as it is a place of aggravation. Aggravation because the law of attraction is not exercised enough to be recognized by the participant, thereby creating this confusing, repeating loop that happens. So, the fourth dimension, if you were to give a shape to it, I know a lot of people say that the fourth dimension is time. The fourth dimension can be perceived as karma, as results, as the push and pull, as a combination of the law of rhythm, the law of attraction, the law of manifestation, the law of correspondence. The fourth dimension is really there to teach you that your actions and your thoughts have a rhythm of reaction that pushes back. You can call it an equal opposite pull, but I'm not so much commenting on absence, or I should say opposites, as much as similarities. How you can attract similarities to your thought. How you can, so the manifestation part is more of a pull toward the fifth dimension, which is more of an expounding shape, a shape that more so has a more stretching out in all directions type of quality, where you're already in what it is. And the feedback loop of positivity is feeding your existence. And now you're living in a positive feedback loop. So you can go into autopilot once the cycle of repeating positivity is happening in your life. Right then you can really stop, and gratitude will actually keep carrying and bringing your vibration up higher. And gratitude is really the ultimate shortcut that will help you navigate the shapes, because these shapes are consciousness, the way consciousness moves and the way consciousness presents itself and materializes in different aspects of what you know, what you are aware of, what you can perceive, what you can intuitively grasp, and what you can intelligently conceptualize, and thereby practice rather. You can put it into action steps. So understand the push and the pull in the fourth dimension, so you won't have the frustration that comes with this age, because this is more of a fourth dimensional time that we're in. And the push and pull and the instant manifestation is more of a larger character in this part of the storyline. Fourth dimension is plays a very big role. This is what the zombie movies were really about. It makes a commentary on and gives you allusions and alliterations and personifications and metaphors to and allegories to what it's like to be in between, what it's like to be on the lowest of the higher planes, right above 3D, but 4D is so subject to 3D that you master 4D and 3D. You really can only master any other dimension from 3D. Anything else is just you drifting into higher realities, just straight up spirit transferring from this reality to that reality. And that's open for how you want to interpret it, or how you believe, or what you're learning to believe in terms of the hereafter. But as far as right here now, being able to grasp these very metaphysical shapes and concepts, these abstractions, you just have to understand how that shape is moving. The push in from one end will bring you what you're thinking about. The mood that you take, your life around you will start to mold itself to fit your mood. This is how the fourth dimensional shape is moving, the invisible shape, the flow of energy. And then once you got that mastered again, is locked and loaded, you experience what many will call the heaven on earth, which is the expansion of light, the expansion of your manifestation. Now all that you seek is seemingly appearing on its own. You don't have to put your mantras in, your manifestations in, I should say your visualizations. You don't have to do as much legwork as you did before, because these things are starting to feed themselves back to you, and you paying attention to it with more gratitude is actually enhancing and increasing these things in your life. So that's how you go from the good, or I should say that's how you go from the bad, the negative feedback loop, to the positive feedback loop. depending on what you would like to see happen in your life. So understanding sacred geometry and all other things shape related makes for an equal playing ground between intuition and intellect. Because the question does come up, and there's a, a cognitive crossroads that takes place where the individual can say, is it more important for me to go within or seek knowledge without? And the answer is really both, because you what you are going within for is going to show itself to you in the outside world. These things are going to correspond. So you want to do both. It's a dance. One person takes a step, the other person takes a step. You're dancing with your destiny. You're dancing with your fate. You're dancing with your future. You can't always lead with your imagination. First, you lead with your imagination, and then now it's time for your environment to lead. Now it's time for you to pick up on the clues. Now it's time for you to see which direction you should go in. Now it's time for you to follow the breadcrumbs. You take the breadcrumb, you go back within. You step back without, you seek out the resonance. You step back within, you take in gratitude for what you received, gratitude and more imagination. Then you step back out and you look for that correspondence. This is the song and dance between the dimensions. This is how you deal with 3, 4, and 5. So you're practicing here in your physical. So be glad for all your senses. Be glad for all of this finite reality, because this is where you're going to be picking up your physical clues from. Your spiritual clues, that's going to come from within. And in another video, we'll talk about how those higher planes affect you. But right now we're dealing with materiality and how we can do supernatural things with materiality. So it starts with going within and finding the correspondences around you. And this is how you conquer shapes and dimensions, 3D, 4D, and eventually 5D.